Today I'm showing you a phishing bot for Minecraft Java Edition that works for almost every version available for the game. And even if you're not necessarily looking for a phishing bot, this is an incredibly cool little thing, and I highly suggest that you do check this out. As you can see, I'm on their official GitHub page right over here. It'll be linked down in the description below. We have a bunch of releases. As you can see, it works from 1.8 all the way to the latest version, which is currently 1.21.11. We can scroll down here and we can see a little bit of a preview. Then there is also some more details over here, but don't worry, I will be going over exactly how to use this bot as well. There are very many ways to use it. You can find all of them in this wiki over here. It's incredibly detailed, incredibly easy to follow as well. I'll go through the main gist, and if you have any specific things you want to do, then you can read up right here. So let's get started with using this. We can simply head over to the releases tab right over here and then download the latest version of the phishing bot. As you can see, I've got it in my downloads over here, and they do actually recommend that you do this in a new empty folder because this will also create a config file. Anyways, to use this, you do need to have the Java development kit installed. If you don't have this yet, well, then I will link it right down in the description below. Anyways, we can simply double click on this and it is going to go ahead and open up. If double clicking on it doesn't work, then you want to right click, go to open with, and select the Java development kit or whatever that I just said you basically needed. Anyways, here is the user interface of this phishing bot. So in the UI, I recommend going to the settings area first of all. You can also find that under file and then settings. Here we have all of the interesting features that this phishing bot is going to offer. So we have an account page over here. Then we have announcements where if your phishing bot were to get attacked by something like a zombie or get damaged, you can actually enable, for example, that it were to send to you Discord notifications. Or it could send you a Discord notification every single time you get an enchanted item or get up to a certain experience level, stuff like this. It's incredibly cool. I've truly never seen anything like this before. We also have some automations over here, so you can have it sneak, you can have it automatically reconnect. As you can see, if their bot were to disconnect from the server, there's a bunch of other options here as well. I recommend you check those out. You're going to log things, which is nice. Then we also have some miscellaneous customizations over here. Finally, the server tab, which is probably the most important. Here we can enter the server IP and port that we want this phishing bot to join. Now, we're not purely limited to just servers, because if you open your world to LAN, you can actually get it to join a single player world as well. And in the wiki, they have instructions on how to connect it to realms. I have now started up Minecraft Java Edition, and so say you want to connect this to a server. That is actually the easiest. Simply go into the settings, then server, and enter the server IP and the server port as well. Pretty cool. Then you can just have it join. I'm not going to be joining a server with this, but instead a single player world that I'm going to be hosting on LAN. So I guess I've found a nice body of water here where we can do some fishing. So basically, I can open this to LAN, start LAN world, and now as you can see, the game is being hosted on port 55476. This is important to remember. So once you have done that, we can open up the phishing bot, go into settings, server, and then for the server IP, you want to keep this at 127.0.0.1. This is just your local host, and then my port was 55476. So there we go, 55476. Bam. This is going to be saved automatically once you close the settings, and we can then simply click on start, and it is going to go ahead and initialize over here. You will quickly need to follow the steps on this pop-up. This is safe, it is a legitimate Microsoft login, and keep in mind that this tool is open source as well. There we go, phishing bot has joined the game. If you're noticing in the log here, login failed, that name is already taken. Simply go into the settings and just change the name of the phishing bot to, well, whatever. Even if you change that once, then it should work correctly. So I've just teleported the phishing bot over here to myself real quick. Now is a decent point in time to go back to the wiki and locate the list of commands right over here, where we can find all the actions that we can apply to this bot. So we can use all these commands actually through the console over here. So we can start off with something like the /level command, which is just going to display the level of the bot. just to check it all works, and as you can see it does. The bot currently has 0 levels. So to actually get started, we can start off by giving this guy a rod. I have a basically max enchanted one over here with Luck of the Sea 3, Mending, and Lure 3. We can just drop that, and he is going to go ahead and pick those up. We can then click on start fishing, or do that through a command over there, and then the bot is going to throw out the rod, start fishing, and do this infinitely until you get it to stop or you shut down the server. You can now manage a bunch of things through the commands. So for example, we can use the /drop_rods command, which I did earlier over here, and it is going to drop it. As you can see, we'll also get all our information printed to this little console as well. So they just caught some raw cod, which is neat. And as you can see, the fishing bot has just leveled up to level 1. Everything they catch is going to automatically go into their inventory, and we can then use the /empty command to empty the inventory. And now, as you can see, I have some raw cod and some pufferfish that I could have just picked up. So that's pretty neat. For the rest, I recommend that you look through the commands on their website a little bit more. So of course, as I said, you could use the drop rods command to have it drop the fishing rod. I do highly recommend using one with mending over here. As you can see, we can also view in this little loot tab right over here all of the loot that we have caught so far. So we have caught 3 raw cod and 1 raw salmon. One thing I also recommend you to take a look at is just a closer look at the settings, because there's so much you can customize here. So in this automations part, you can actually have it eject certain things. So if we enable this, for example, we can have it drop certain items. Just click through this. There's so much more here than that you might think. So now what I said in the introduction might make a little more sense. This is also just a really cool tool. You can use the bot's Docker image as well if you so please. There's so many things you can do. Definitely make sure to not miss out on anything in the wiki as well. But just the entire concept of a bot like this is pretty insane, and it obviously works incredibly well. So I've been fishing for maybe 15 more minutes now, and let's take a look. We have 81 loot, as you can see over here, and it is absolutely god-awful. I think I may not be facing the correct direction. I think it would have been probably a lot better if we would have turned the bot like 90 degrees and had it fish in an actual ocean as opposed to a pond. I think that's how Java Edition works. I'm kind of used to Bedrock, to be honest. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. But either way, I mean, successful. This is going to be so satisfying. Let's run /empty right over here. Ooh, yep, delicious. Okay, so basically, right now, I suppose that was basically that. I guess at least we're eating well tonight. Thank you all ever so much for watching, and I definitely do hope to see you all again in the next one. Bye.